Hi, and welcome to Knitting at Tiffany's. I'm Tiffany. Today I have a special interview for you. I've been holding off on putting this up as it's really near and dear to my heart, and this is the festive time of year and it's a really special time of year. I wanted to share this with you now. Laura Nelkin, I will be interviewing. She is one of my favorite designers. I also have a girl crush on her. I fangirl when I see her. She's a really dear friend, and she took some time with me at the Knitters Fair back in September. Wow, it's been since then, to do an interview with me when she was in town teaching there. And so she was also traveling in Europe, and then she also has her own retreat that she does in Ithaca, New York. So she's been quite busy. So now that it's, December and it's a special time of year, I thought this would be a perfect time for me to share with you the interview with her. So I hope you really enjoy this, and thank you so much for watching. Hello and welcome to Knitting at Tiffany's. I am Tiffany, and today I have with me a very, very special guest. I kind of fangirl because this is my girl crush, and this is Laura Nelkin.
Hello.
Welcome, Laura. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, how could I not? This is just a dream come true for me. You have no idea. I'm not kidding when I tell you I fangirl over you. We're today actually at the Kitchener-Waterloo Knitters Fair, and Laura was doing not a panel, I guess it was...
was doing a talk.
A talk?
Yeah.
Talk? Okay, a talk. And so I knew she was coming, and I had to message her and say, would you come and do an interview with me, please? Because I think the last time we saw each other was, 7-8 years ago?
Yeah, at SSK.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a while.
And I've never forgotten that, ever.
So much fun.
It was.
Yeah.
There's such a blast. And you got to go again this year.
I did, and it's like
you.
still one of my favorite
It
events.
is.
Yeah, really fun.
I think it's everything together. The Knit Girls, Laura and Leslie putting it on, and then the people that come are amazing.
Yeah.
All the instructor teachers there are phenomenal, and Kristen Kapoor is there, and I met her the first year. That's when I think,
she's so fun.
she's just, yeah.
The people that go to their events are just like so authentically and really themselves.
Yes.
No one's like pretending to be anything.
I know.
And
I love that.
Yeah, it was really special.
It is.
It's always a blast. I always stay up way too late knitting.
I know.
Bad, Laura.
No, that's okay. But you don't do it every day, so it's a fun thing, right? Yeah. And it's the one place where I guess it feels like you never just have enough time to catch up with everybody and get to talk to everybody. So it's like you want to fit in as much as you can.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know, interestingly, one of the things I love about that event is there's no drinking on the campus.
Yes.
Which I thought would be weird, but it actually was awesome because there was no kind of like late night element.
That's right.
Like can happen at a hotel with a bar.
That is so true.
Right? Things stay
But
pretty even.
We could always go off campus, like literally what was a couple minutes away, we're sitting at the bar having drinks. Yes.
Yeah.
So that night I'll never forget. That sticks in my head. It was just me, you, and Amy Herzog, and I had the best time
because
ever.
Amy and I don't like having drinks together.
No, not at all. No, who would? Oh my God, that was so much fun though. Yes, see, memories are great.
They are.
So I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, and while you're knitting away here, and I don't know how you do that, you don't even look at your knitting, but you're so skilled that way that for me I'd be like this.
Actually, I had to teach myself to not have to look at my knitting when I knit, and this is going to sound kind of bizarre, but when you were little, did you ever pretend to be Helen Keller? Which sounds really weird.
No, it doesn't.
I know, it makes me
Everybody
sound really
has-
weird.
everybody
But we
has
used
something.
to play these games where we couldn't hear and we'd muffle our ears or we couldn't see.
Yeah.
And then we get led around by our friends. So I kind of did something similar with my knitting where I was in the car one day and my husband was driving and I was like, I am not looking at my knitting. I cannot see. And I just made my fingers feel what was going on, and it was super awkward. I did it with garter stitch and something I didn't care about anyway. But now I can do it on knitting or purling. I cannot do it with brioche.
Oh,
Like
wow.
brioche, something or lace where I need
Right.
to be seeing what's going on.
I don't
But if
know.
I just have a plain row,
Yes.
my fingers can just feel it.
That's amazing.
It's kind of
That's
fun.
muscle memory.
Yeah,
and
it's totally muscle
I
memory.
try. Maybe 1 or 2 stitches I can do in a knit stitch, and then
Yeah.
I have to look and
So go
I
on
try
a
to
long
feel
road
them.
trip. We were driving cross country, and I was bored.
You had your knitting thing.
I had to
good
keep
thing for
myself.
that.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. We were on a road trip a few weeks ago, and I practiced knitting while balancing my yarn on my knee. That was my
wow.
game. I was super bored. Yeah. You're
going to see how people are going to start to do this now. They're going to be like,
It's a
hey,
thing.
I'm doing a Laura Nelkin balancing yarn on my knee while I'm trying to.
Core is engaged.
See, and people say that we don't work out while we knit.
I totally work
There's
out.
a key thing. There you go. You have to engage your core to keep that balanced.
Yeah.
Maybe the next time, like, put it on your head.
Right?
Do the whole neck and upper
Like
body
put your
muscles.
like knitting pattern up on your head and then just like, osmosis right in.
That would be funny.
Okay, we digressed.
That's okay. At least we got great laughs in, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
everybody does that with us. That's the best thing to me is laughing. You can't beat that
No,
ever.
it's the best medicine.
Yeah, I love it. So I guess my first question for you is, how did knitting happen for you? Like, when did it start? Who taught you? You know.
So I actually didn't learn how to knit till probably like 14 or 15 years ago, which
wow.
sounds a little surprising. I didn't have any family knitter members who knit. My grandma knit, but she passed away when I was very young, so she never got to teach me. And then when I went to college, I was a weaver. Like, I was always a maker. So when I was a little kid, I always kind of created one thing or another, and I was always making stuff and crafting. And then in college, I wove, and like as a late teenager, and I went to school for apparel design.
Oh, wow.
And I actually tried to knit, and I couldn't figure it out, which is crazy. Because I was working on like 16 harness, Compy Dobby looms, like really advanced computer-aided looms.
Wow.
And doing really intricate work on them. And I tried to knit and was like, it won't let me. I can't do it. This is hard. And then I was, so I got way into weaving, and I was selling high-end woven pieces. And then I had my daughter, and I found that after I had my daughter, it was really hard to find time to be at the loom.
I'm sure.
And at the same time, my back started hurting. Like, it got, being at the loom stopped being so fun, and I started having to like bribe myself to be at the loom. Like, if you weave 10 inches, you can have a cookie. And then like, this will date myself. Like, if you weave 10 inches, you can flip over the tape to the other side of the audiobook. Because that was back like when audiobooks were on tape.
I remember that. Yeah,
I know.
I do.
And then when my daughter was like 3 or 4, one of her friends' moms one day at a play date was like, do you want to learn how to knit? And I was like, I really want to learn how to knit.
Yeah.
And then a group of us got together, like my dear friend Maya and her son, and then Chelsea, who was teaching us how to knit, and her daughters, and myself and my daughter. And then Maya's son was like in a super crappy mood that day.
Oh, no.
And so Maya ended up like on kid duty, and I got a really good knitting lesson, like a
excellent.
super good knitting lesson.
Like one-on-one now.
Yeah,
yeah. You can't ask
And
for
like
anything
my
better.
kid was happy.
Yeah,
and Maya was like
exactly.
playing nursery school teacher.
That's
And I
awesome.
don't know if she's totally forgiven me.
Does she knit though now?
I taught her. She can knit. It's not her thing. She teaches yoga, which is awesome.
That's good. That's good.
She's got her own thing.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's too funny. I would have never known that.
Yeah, that I came to, but I've always played with string, right?
Yeah.
And always made, and since I have an apparel design background, I'm very comfortable, like when I'm diving into kind of thinking about the body and how fabric is going to drape on it, when I'm thinking about new designs, I have kind of a leg up
That's
on how
awesome.
that's going to work.
It is, and you
Yeah.
design phenomenally.
Thank you.
Like absolutely, some of your stuff is like totally outside of the box thinking, which is great, and I know a lot of people like that because it's something different, and
Yeah.
people want something new, something different, something exciting.
Yeah, and at the same time, I think I try to keep my patterns really accessibly written so that they're not overwhelming when you go to dive into one. It's not going to look very different than
Right.
something else you've already knit, right?
Right.
And I sometimes even in my pattern I write like, just trust the pattern. Like, seriously, if you just do what it says,
Yes.
it's like tech edited, it's tested, it's copy edited. Like, you're
Yeah.
going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
going to work, and then you're going to understand.
Yes,
You know.
and I know so many people always say like always read the pattern through first before you
Yeah.
start, and make sure like you understand the whole concept of everything, and then when you go through it, you can break it up for what you're needing it to be.
Exactly.
And I find it so true. Writing a pattern is key for me because I find if I don't know what I made a mistake on, I don't know where to go back and what to look for to figure it out. But if I can figure if it's stitches, and I look for the simple things first. Stitch
Yeah.
counts, make
Right,
sure
right,
that I have
right.
the same. Maybe follow that pattern on that row to make sure I copied that down, like I knit it right compared to what was written. And so
Yeah, like break it down
You
into
have
its
to,
elements.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you put the little things in there, like trust the pattern.
Just do it. I definitely always in the notes section, like at the beginning of the pattern, I'll really like explain the construction and give a schematic. And to me, it's like the more information I can give somebody, the more success they're likely to have with it.
For sure.
That's the goal.
For sure. And you want someone to always come back and knit your product,
Yeah.
knit your patterns
Yeah,
again,
I don't
right?
want them
So you want them to be
To
happy.
walk away frustrated.
Yeah. And I know that
I've done one of your, to me it was an intricate pattern. Actually, if you give me 1 second,
Oh, yeah.
grab it. I'm gonna
She's
grab
gonna go
the
get
pattern.
it. She didn't block it, which is
Yep.
kind of upsetting to
Yes,
me.
I'm sorry. She's gonna kill me because I'll make it up to her one day. I promise. I'll block it and then I'll post it. Actually, Christina, the cozy knitter that we just talked to, she told me I can call her up and I can come over and she's going to help me block this.
Nice. It's so beautiful.
I'm
It's
going
like
to
such a shame
I'm
that
going
it's
to
not
block
blocked.
it.
It's killing me.
This yarn was actually Lediman Fiber Arts in the Knit Girls colorway.
I love those guys.
In the Knit Girls colorway,
Yeah.
and this was for the first SSK I went with you there, and this was the pattern, and it has beading on the ends. I don't know if you can see the beading.
This is called Claris.
It's Claris. Look at the beading on the end. See there, you can see it.
But as soon as it's
And it's
blocked, like I can
not.
kind of like simulate blocking. It's going to
Yeah.
open up because you're just going to
It's
block
gonna be
it to within
gorgeous.
an inch of its life, and it's
Oh, is
going
that
to
what you do?
drape way better. Yeah, you just like
Stretch it
When
out
you're blocking
max?
lace, you're blocking it out as much as you possibly can.
Okay.
And you're actually like giving the yarn some new memory, and it's going to make it feel and drape so much more nicely.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to be really
Interesting.
happy with that.
Yeah, so I promise. I'm gonna call Christina up now and I'll be like, I'm gonna have to come to your house and block,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to show me how to block
Christina,
this
you're
out.
going to do a bang up job. It's
Yeah.
going to be amazing.
Yeah, because this is beautiful.
It's so pretty.
And the colors are like my colors I'd wear. And we were just talking about this too. When I was doing a lace class with you at SSK, I didn't know how to do yarn overs. And Laura comes up to me and she's like, "You're doing them wrong." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Let me show you."
You're doing them differently.
No, I think the word was wrong, actually. She's like, "You're doing them backwards." And that's what you told me.
Yeah,
And
so she had her left leg to the front of the needle and her right leg to the back. And you want your yarn overs to look like your stitch on your needle. So if your stitch is on the needle, always have the right leg to the front of the needle and the
Right.
left leg to the back of the needle.
Right.
You want your yarn over to be oriented exactly the same way.
Yeah, and
that
I
your
think I was
stitches would be.
somehow wrapping them a different way because someone taught me to do that and I had no clue.
Yeah, and how would you know?
Yeah,
We
until
only
you
know
showed
what
me,
people
and
show
after
us.
that I used to practice it like do diligently all the time. And every time I do a yarn over, I always ask myself, is it the way Laura taught me? Like seriously, that's what
would
comes
Laura
out.
do?
No, like is it the way Laura taught me? Because I want to make sure I do it right. Because you know what, you told me when it came to laces where I'd really notice
Yeah.
if I made the mistakes.
Because then
And-
if you're doing them wrong and you're not working into the back loop.
Right.
So you could work them the wrong way, but then work it into the back loop so that your yarn over is still open, but you were twisting your yarn over.
Yeah.
And then working into the front loop, which actually closes it again, which is basically doing like a make one right or a make one left.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it was probably doing, and
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it. But I have to tell you, this pattern here took me a while to knit 'cause it was my first lace, and I never knew how to read a
beautiful.
lace chart. And I actually
Yeah.
downloaded your CraftT class for this because, gosh, if you didn't have that class, I would have not known how to knit this by a pattern because I
those
never read a
classes,
pattern
this was
before.
like the first one I did, and I think they
Yes.
had me like show every stitch row by row.
It was
in
phenomenal.
Mastering lace shawls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I never read a pattern before to do a shawl. This is probably one of my first shawls I think I did. Actually, I think it is my first shawl I did. Plus, it was my first lace. Plus, it was my first beading. So it was all new things for me, all in one I did.
Not
and
a virgin anymore.
We'll leave that where that one is. We'll let that one go. But it's a beautiful, honestly, this is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. I loved knitting it. And I don't even think I have a design element in it. I think I actually took so much time to make sure that I did not
That
make a
everything was
mistake with it,
perfect.
that everything
I
was
love that
perfect.
You call it a design element.
It is.
It's beautiful.
And I always have design elements in everything I knit.
Yeah.
Usually it's how I know it's mine. And I'm okay with it. But I think this one I really made the effort to make sure there was nothing in it. I
It's
took
going to
it
be
out.
so, I mean, it's pretty now. It's
yeah.
going to be gorgeous when it's blocked.
Oh my God, I can't.
Gorgeous.
Now I can't wait to have it blocked because, yeah. And everybody should kill me because I never block anything. I just wear things the way
Yeah.
they are and I don't block them.
I don't think
but,
we're going
like,
to kill her for that.
look
but
at that.
She's
It
going to,
just-
blocking's amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? Once I might do it and I see how easy it's done, I think I'm just kind of scared. I'm scared to sometimes try something new.
Yeah.
I know it's bad that way, but once I try it, then usually I'm okay.
Yeah, and you're like,
afterwards.
oh, that's really easy.
And-
I know
right.
that Kate Atherley has a blocking class too on CraftT.
Oh, okay.
So that's something you could always watch.
I could. I'm
if you
very
don't get
visual,
them.
and
Yeah.
that works too.
Yeah.
But see, I want to pin these out because I know you,
You
had
do.
them, and
Yeah. I post blocking pictures all the time of stuff I've blocking because I think it really helps people to see what it looks like when
it does.
it's blocking.
Yeah, and it
Just
does
to
make
get
a
an idea.
huge difference.
Yeah, it's just like
but
stretch it out.
Stunning shawl. Like it was stunning.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, one skein.
Yeah.
Fingering weight.
Yeah.
And so this is going to block out like way bigger now.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. and I was fine with the way it was.
So what you should do, what I think is kind of
Don't
fun
kill
to
me.
do, is to measure the wingspan and the depth before you block it.
Okay.
Just so that after you block it, you can be like, before it was this size.
Yeah.
After it was this size.
Definitely, that's a great idea. I love your ideas. This is just, I'm going to do that because you know what? It will give me a sense of knowing like really what blocking does and how it can change a garment or a shawl or anything you do. Even my sweaters, I don't block. I just throw them on and hopefully they fit. Don't kill me, Amy.
But that
I
also
swear.
means that you don't block your gauge swatches, right?
I do a gauge swatch. I did one for Amy Herzog sweater.
And then do you block your gauge swatch?
I just kind of pinned it on four corners, and that was.
And you like
I didn't
spritzed
stretch it
or
out.
steam it? Or?
No, I just soaked it in soap.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I put it on a towel, and I kind of just made it like a perfect square,
Yeah.
and then I just pinned the four corners as a perfect square, I think, and I left it to dry.
Yeah. So if you're blocking your gauge swatch, you definitely want to block your final sweater because your sweater's not going to measure what your math was if you're not
Probably,
blocking your
but it fits
sweater.
though.
Right on.
I don't know. I think body heat changes it. I don't know.
A little sweat.
Actually,
Well, humidity this
it's-
summer
it's-
was like humid enough.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, but I think I got to start doing that because I think it does change a whole.
It does.
does
Yeah, it's going
change
to
the whole
open up a
thing.
world.
Oh yes. So, talking about designs, and I know you touched on it a little bit. You are going to be teaching now in some new places around the world.
Well, not so much teaching, but I've been starting to lead a lot of trips around the world, and I don't actually teach on them. I am just kind of like the tour leader, and so I'm taking a group to Scotland in March. Last year I took 3 groups to Ireland.
Wow.
So I'm taking a tour to Scotland in October, and we get to go to Loch Ness Knit Festival in the middle of it.
Wow.
And I'm taking classes. I think I'm speaking there. At the Knit Fest, like on their main stage, and then I'm taking a class with Hazel Tyndall, who's like the world's fastest knitter. She's from Shetland. She does amazing barrel work. And then Ann Unson. Have you ever seen those lace fences that are knit? They're knit in like Shetland lace and like in rope, but Shetland lace stitches, and they're stretched out as fences. They're absolutely gorgeous.
haven't.
Just Google like Shetland lace fences.
Wow.
You could probably put a link in the profile or something.
That's
for people to
amazing.
see her work.
Yes, I will definitely.
But she's teaching some Shetland lace classes, so I'm super excited to learn more from her
incredible.
because I've been, learning about and studying Shetland lace, and I'm so intrigued by it.
Is it different than regular lace?
There's
A
some
lot?
things about it that are different. One of the biggest things is in Shetland, people don't seem to enjoy purling very much. Like they're anti-purling.
That's interesting.
So there's a lot of garter stitch lace, basically, like lace on right side, wrong side rows, and then like knitting. But it's typically done on such on bigger needles and such fine yarn that you don't notice that it's garter stitch lace in the way that you would with this, because it's like bigger yarn and smaller needles.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
you get to take a class with her,
That's
and then also in October, I'm the designer of the month at Stephen and Penelope in Amsterdam.
That's excellent.
So because I'm very good at like conniving, and I convinced my husband that we needed to go rent an apartment in Amsterdam for a week.
Why not?
Because I'm just super good at like, don't you think? I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. And you make him say yes.
Total
right?
write-off, So we're gonna go for a week before my Scotland trip. It's actually
nice.
like 6 nights or something.
Very
We'll have like a
nice.
little time, and then we'll do some day trips and get to explore museums and just be relaxed. We were trying to go to Faroe Islands, but it takes like 36 hours to get to the Faroe Islands, and then like 36 or 40 hours to get out of there again, and you have to go through Copenhagen. So it made it so we were going to have like 3 days on the island, and it didn't seem worth it.
No,
for that
not
much
for that
travel
much travel
time.
time, yeah, I
Especially
agree
if
with
like
you.
something didn't go right, because travel sometimes doesn't
That's
go
right.
very well.
I know that too. I travel a lot. Yes.
I know when travel goes well, it goes so well.
It does,
When
doesn't it?
go well,
Yeah,
it's
it's complete mess up.
like
Yeah.
completely not okay.
Oh yeah, and sometimes you can't help anything. It's out of your control, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh my God, that's going to be so
super
much fun.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go taking another group before or right after we're doing a tour in Scotland after Edinburgh Yarn Festival.
Very nice. So
I,
that's
like,
next year.
Found a
Is that
way.
March?
That's March.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so much fun. That I'd love to do Edinburgh. One year that'd be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty excited about Edinburgh. I've been there a few times, but getting to go to the festival will be really fun.
And are you going to be teaching there?
No,
or anything? So you're
no,
just going to
just
shop
hanging
and hang
out.
out. That's even better.
hanging
Isn't that
out.
nice sometimes
Yeah.
to be able to do that? And
The teaching in Europe thing is hard. Like you have to have the right kind of paperwork, and then
sure.
you're working. So then what I have to bring with myself as a teacher you know?
Right.
And I get to, when I go to events like that and events like this, I get to see so many vendors I've like never heard of before, and like people that I've only like maybe chatted with on Instagram but never met in real life. So it always ends up being a really fun experience.
Sure. I think that's to me that's a really the best part about being able to attend events instead of being just, you know, teaching classes is fun because you get to see people that probably idolize you and your work you do, and you keep laughing at me, but it's true. And
it's so funny because I don't have that perspective.
I don't know. I get it because I know we all look at ourselves differently. But yes, I think there's a lot of people that do see you as like you're this goddess that, you know, you're so talented and creative, and you're so beautiful, and you're so amazing as a person and inside and out. I love you all around, and maybe because I also fangirl, but
I'm like, we're crying.
No, I don't want to make you cry. But your design and your work and everything you do and how much you put into community and how much you love what you do, it's just, it shows. It really does, and it makes a big difference for people. And don't cry. Please don't cry because you'll make me cry.
I totally pride myself in the community bit. Not pride myself is not really the right way, but I have a Ravelry group that's just superb, and people have become really, really good friends in there.
Yeah.
And then when people get to kind of see each other in real life, it's like we already know each other, even though we've never met, right? And a lot of those are the people who end up traveling with me, and by the end of a trip, we're like, you know, connected for life.
For sure.
It's pretty incredible to end up making friends with people from all over the world.
It is.
And it's cool.
It is. It's the best thing. I'm like, you could always meet a knitter. You can always travel somewhere, and one thing you always have in common is knitting.
Yeah.
And then you just grow from there.
Yeah.
And
Although, can I tell you a story? Last night,
Yeah.
I'm in Canada, right? So I'm like, knitting's cool in Canada. And I was like at a restaurant that had a bar, and I was just like eating some pizza at the bar, and I was knitting, and no one would make eye contact with me. And I was like, it's Canada.
Yeah,
like, I'm used to that in the U.S., that people would be like, crazy knitting lady, 2 o'clock.
I don't know.
It was disappointing.
It's don't forget, we have way less people here.
I know.
Right? Than like compared to New York, I think we have a third of what New York has, and we're very large.
Yeah.
For our provinces, but I don't think you still see a lot of people knit in a lot of places. And Kitchener-Waterloo is a smaller town. It's not like Toronto, the big city, but still, like, I go to restaurants where no one knits.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't bring my knitting because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't knit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, that's not me. And I have knitting friends, but they're not the ones sometimes my husband and I go out with.
Yeah. I totally get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you don't want to just always sit and just kind of knit. And again, I have to look at my knitting a lot, so
Right,
I
so
lose
it
the
makes
eye
it not as
contact.
social,
Yeah, and so
I will
it's-
say there's some things I don't bring to knit group, because if I can't, like,
Right.
you know, I'm there to be like connecting with
like
people.
lace.
Yeah, like lace.
Like lace, this has to be a quiet room. I can't
Yeah.
even listen to a podcast because I need total concentration for lace.
Yeah. Do you know what I bring to knit group is I bring my finishing a lot of the time. Because sometimes at knit group I'll feel like I don't get anything done because we're all like chatting. So I'll bring my like ends to weave in,
Like these.
so like her ends that aren't woven in. I bring
Actually,
all that
these are
stuff,
woven in.
and then but they just need to be cut. But you know
Yes,
what? That's really smart that you waited till you.
I
blocked.
didn't cut them until I blocked
Yeah.
it. Yes, yes.
Good girl.
yes,
Good girl.
yes.
I'm proud.
But it is woven in though.
Yeah.
Not that I did it.
So I bring all my finished work or like sewing on a buttons or whatever, and then by the end of the night I feel like I'm really accomplished and
That's
I've like
right.
finished some stuff up.
That's a great
Because
idea.
sometimes when you knit at knit group, I just have to rip everything out. 'cause
That's so
they're,
true.
Like, laughing so hard.
That's
and I
so
miss something.
true. But that's a great idea, actually. That's like something good. There you go. When next time I go to a knit night, I'm bringing something I need to finish.
Finishing.
You know, my socks and stuff I have to weave at ends that I don't. I just wear them.
Be like taking them off your husband's feet. Be like, I gotta finish those
Yeah,
tonight.
no, I don't knit anything for him yet.
No?
No, he doesn't. He's never
not
asked me for
interested?
something,
Okay.
and he's got really big wide feet, and so no thanks. And he's too hot, so I can't knit him stuff. And maybe
Like
a toque.
sweater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a toque, but
Yeah.
then he wants something like a Batman toque where I have to do.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience to figure out how to do that. I know I'm a numbers person, but again, if someone shows me how to do that, I can do it.
I could do
But
it.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of knitting my father-in-law and my husband and my daughter
Oh,
all socks.
yes.
And I'm like, I can knit socks, but it's like not my favorite thing.
Right.
And they all like love hand knit socks. Like every year at Christmas, someone's hopeful that it's their year because I'll
Right.
like
You rotate.
kind of rotate. But I took last year off, so they're all
That's
like
okay.
not sure who's in line.
You should just do a draw. Just draw one every
Totally.
year. Yeah.
I think what I did with Bella last year, actually, she did get a pair of socks, but I like took some samples I had made for my book from like 2014, and
Yeah.
was like, I don't need these samples anymore, and I wrapped them up and
Good
gave
for
them to
her. Hey,
Like,
even
they're
better.
perfectly nice handed
Exactly,
socks.
and they come from a book that
I
you've
know.
done. Exactly,
They
like,
got a
hey,
memory. And I think
yeah.
one of them was like a little faded, like more faded than the other,
Because
because
it's
one had
showing.
been like in the sun at a yarn store.
Just don't tell her. I don't know if she'll watch
She
this. It will be
noticed.
good.
Probably not.
Oh, you're funny. So what you have a design background because
Yeah.
you were doing the weaving the looms and stuff like that. Is that what got you started in designing for knitting?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had gone to school for apparel design, so I've always been a creator and a maker. And when I first knit, I was following patterns and kind of like learning how patterns worked. And then I pretty quickly was like, I have an idea, I'm going to knit a sweater. What got funny was like not knowing anything about, I knew about grading actually from apparel design and having to grade patterns in school, but I had to like apply those rules to pattern writing and think about things in a way that made sense for a knitting pattern. And I got pretty lucky in there. I was working for Schaefer Yarn at the time, and I had a few people who really kind of gave me some guidelines and benchmarks. And then I was like, oh, I just have to apply all the rules I already know about grading from apparel design. So I was lucky in that I had a background for some steps of the process.
Excellent.
But I have ideas all the time.
That's
I
good.
have a lot of ideas.
There's nothing wrong
So
with that.
then I just run with those ideas.
You should.
You know.
You should.
Yeah. And every so often, if I feel like I don't feel like doing the math for an idea, I will follow somebody else's pattern. I'll be like, I feel like making those socks, and I don't have to think about it. I'm
Right.
just going to cast them on, and I never get the gauge right.
I don't think I do gauge for socks.
No. I think the reason I don't knit socks a lot is I'm a really loose knitter. Like
Yeah.
a super loose knitter. So to knit socks at a fabric I end up being on like double zeros. Or
Right.
zeros, and then the needles are so small that they're hard to feel,
Yes.
and then the stitches are really tight, so it doesn't like bring me joy.
That's exactly what I knit on, is zeros for socks, which is a
Yeah.
2 millimeter. And
Yeah.
my stitches are tight because I'm a loose knitter, so I really wrap my yarn tight.
Yeah.
And I try to, yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, but it makes it a little harder to knit. I think,
It does.
So it doesn't flow
and then
as
your
quickly.
hands are stiffer and they're sore,
Yeah.
and that's
And
why
it's
I
harder to hold on to
Yes.
small needles. Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess I could make like sport weight socks.
That's true. That's true. So most of the stuff you knit, is there a certain weight that you like to work with?
I tend to be drawn more to wearing sweaters that are like DK weight and lower, although I definitely have designed some like worsted weight and bulky sweaters, and I'll wear those when it's really cold out or like inside, or as jackets outside, right? So I have a few like bulky weight sweaters that I definitely do wear outside. I love a fingering weight sweater, but I don't typically knit them because they take a while.
But then you would be knitting those on zeros, wouldn't you? Or don't?
No, I wouldn't be at that
Oh.
dense a gauge. I'd be at more like 6 stitches to the end,
Oh, okay.
which would still I'd be like on 4s, which takes a while.
Right.
So I've done that for summer weight sweaters, like sweaters where you're not knitting a whole big sweater
Right.
anyway, and you want a lighter weight fabric because you're wearing it in the summer.
Very
But I
nice.
don't tend to do that for like winter sweaters. Like the one I'm wearing right now is a DK weight, which is kind of like that perfect
yeah.
in between.
I agree.
And it's finally cool here, right? It's like
It
17
is.
or something.
Yeah, I don't like the cool weather. I like the heat, but I like the cool weather because I get to wear my knits.
Yeah.
So I'm torn, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm a hot person. I like the heat. But yeah, it cooled off this weekend, so it's been really nice for us. And I don't know where it's going to go to because I don't pay attention. I just go with the flow. But it's great.
whatever's
But
happening.
the weather is like almost like New York. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
same kind of weather, and it's just and our winters are coming soon.
Yeah,
but
they
that's the fun part where you get to wear all the thick hats
Yeah.
and mitts and your cowls and scarves and whatever
Like
else.
color
you
work that are like double thick.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
know.
it's so much
Yeah.
fun. And,
So I actually really love the winter
yeah,
a lot.
I don't blame you.
I'm a Nordic skier, and I'm getting like more and more into it as I
Wow.
get older. And last winter, at one point in the winter, I was like, I love skiing more than I love knitting.
Oh no!
And like for
That's
Nordic
not good.
skiing, you need real snow. Like you need real
do,
snow,
that big, thick
and you
powder
need
snow.
like good wet conditions, right? But like last year I was skiing, and it was, I guess I don't even know what this would be in Celsius, but Fahrenheit it was -3 with wind chill. It was like super cold.
Zero zero Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right.
So probably like a minus 30 maybe.
Yeah, it's like insane.
And that's
but
freezing
like,
cold.
But the thing is, when you're Nordic skiing, you're moving. Like you're
Yeah.
moving every
Right.
muscle in your body. It's like a full body workout. So as long as you're moving, you're
warm.
warm.
Yeah.
You know, the trick is to like not. Is not to overdress and then not to really like hang out, like jump out of the car, put on your skis and go ski, not
Right.
like putz around.
Yeah, so you don't get freezing
You know?
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of like
Wow,
get
that's
going.
amazing. And does your husband do it with you?
He does some of the time, but he's not a like when it's negative 30 or whatever. I can't really talk him into it. You know?
And don't-
And that I won't go out in alone like that when I find a buddy.
Yeah.
To go with.
And I was gonna say,
it's
don't bribe
hard
him.
to find a buddy.
Oh, I'm sure to do
Yeah,
Nordic
to do
skiing.
and when
'cause
it's that
a lot of-
cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And but it's a great workout. I mean, oh my God, that's
So fun.
it's an
It's
amazing
like all
workout.
endorphins, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, last year I was like,
It's-
the only thing I could wish I could knit too, but you know, and you have poles with you.
Yeah, exactly. Snowshoeing, would that work?
Maybe I don't.
Snowshoeing
Yeah,
with
and actually I
the-
snowshoed last year for the first time, and that was super fun.
I know, it
Every
looks
time.
fun. I want to try
Yeah.
that. That's something I want to try. It looks fun because
It
I'm
used
like,
a whole different muscle group. I
Right.
was totally tired afterwards.
yeah,
You know.
but it's yeah, it looks fun. Wow, Nordic skiing. See, now I was going to say, don't bribe your husband with making him like a huge sweater or like a Farrah. Yeah, because then you'll be stuck making them for the rest of your life probably for him.
I know. He just needs like one Dale of Norway cross country ski. Like they have
Right.
these awesome Nordic
They do.
sweaters that are like designed to vent.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so it was it in Edinburgh? Someone found a yarn, a clothing shop that sold used sweaters or something like not
Oh,
used, but
nice.
like you know.
Yeah, like thrifted.
Yeah, thrifted,
Yeah.
and they look brand new, but they're actually Farrells and a lot of cable work and
Nice,
stuff like
yeah.
that. And oh my God, there you can find them when
Squirt.
there. Yeah.
When I was in Shetland last summer, I actually found Max like a Shetland sweater with a gorgeous Shetland yoke with trees on it.
Oh,
and it
how
was like
nice.
5 pounds maybe.
Wow.
And I just like brought it home and washed it. And I was
Yeah.
kind of hoping he wouldn't like it because I realized I could like cut it and hack it and make it cropped and super hip for me.
Nice.
But it looks like it was made for his body.
How
So,
funny is that? Well, you can find another one maybe on your next
I
travels.
know, right?
For 5 pounds, that's well
Going to
worth
the
it.
thrift store is totally
Yeah,
worth it.
you can't even knit that for. You
No,
know,
I
it's,
know.
And is that something you'd ever do? Is get into that kind of design work, or is that
Well, like color work
like
sweaters.
doing that like a Nordic kind of color work and Farrell
Well, I
stuff?
will like admit that I do have a color work thing coming out in November.
Nice. I'm
And
excited.
I've actually done some color work in the past, and
Yeah.
I love doing color work. And I designed some when I was first learning, like jumping into design.
Yeah.
And Mary Jane Mucklestone is coming to Ithaca for
Very
Ithaca this year.
nice.
So
Excellent.
it's kind of like in her honor that I decided to
So
make my knit Ithaca design in that realm. I don't
That's
feel like I'm
so
giving too
nice.
much away because I feel like people knew that it was probable I would do color work.
That's
for it.
awesome.
And it's totally good for Ithaca because it's,
Yeah.
the nice thing about color work is it's double weight, right? Because you're stranding. So
Right.
you have another strand of yarn going behind
Exactly.
your work, which makes things a little warmer.
It does, and it's beautiful. Sometimes the color, and that's where you can be so creative with your colors,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
good
Oh, I'm
times.
excited to see that. That's exciting. Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, it's just exactly. It's just between us. Oh, you kill me. I think this is one of the best interviews I've done in a long time. You made me laugh
thank
so
you.
hard.
Thank you so
And
much for
I
asking
love
me.
it. Oh my God, how could I not? I'm so honored. I really am. And as I say, I fangirl every time I think of you or talk about you. Or you're truly amazing in everything you do. And I love following you on Instagram and seeing your ventures and everything you do, the new things you come out with. I do read when you post something.
Thank
How
you.
some people, they just post pictures, and a lot of them I'll just like the picture and I don't read.
Yeah.
But because I know you're a designer and you do look at things differently and you do say things, I actually read when you post things.
I
so
try
that
to,
understand.
and I don't always write something, but oftentimes I do. But I try to get the important content in that first like 2.5 lines that shows
Yeah.
up before you have to click more.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's it's important though because you look at things very differently than everybody else does because you write your patterns, you test them. There's a lot of math behind it, and
There
some people
is.
don't understand some of that stuff. And I've seen people that can just design something by looking at not even having to do the math, and I don't know how they do that. To me, that's just mind blowing. It is. 'Cause I just don't get that. To me, there's.
Oh, I have like spreadsheets.
Yeah, there's math behind it all. There has
Yeah.
to be, and not only knitting for one size. Now you create patterns in different sizes, which is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And then with the way you do your stuff, like this sweater you're wearing now, I mean, I didn't even understand the concept until you were explaining it earlier. and it was just like incredible.
Yeah, it's a side-to-side construction
Yeah.
where you're starting at one sleeve and like working across, and then you work these like side
Can you see
panels
that?
up the side.
Yeah.
I have a whole blog post about it. So
Yeah, and it's beautiful though.
Thank
like
you.
The design, the thought process into it, it's just so different. And I like that you do design different things. I like that they're they're outside the box
Yeah.
for me. You know,
Yeah.
like you bring stuff, you take us sometimes something more classic in certain areas, but then you add something that most people would never think to do.
Right.
And I love that about
Yeah.
it. So yeah.
I try to have, and I don't think I'm great at it. It's something I've been really working on, is having something where if you saw one of my designs, whether or not it's on me, you would kind of like know it's one of my pieces.
That's right.
Like, and I think there's some designers out there who their design voice is so strong that you automatically know it's one of theirs, and that's something I've been really like kind of asking myself as I work on things. Like, does that look like it's something that would be part of my body of work, or is it like a total outlier?
Right.
And even sometimes if it's an outlier, if it brings me joy and I want to do it, I'm the
Exactly.
boss.
Exactly. That's
You
right.
know,
You are the boss.
I am the boss.
So do you like designing sweaters, shawls? Is there one more favorite than the other? You even do
I
accessories?
like to mix it up, and it kind of has to do a lot with what I want in my wardrobe, right?
That's an excellent idea. I never thought of
Yeah,
that.
because I'm knitting for myself,
Right.
kind of. I mean, I'm also knitting what I think other people would want.
Yeah.
But like, definitely thinking about like, oh, I kind of need a new cowl this year. I haven't designed a new cowl in a while.
And that's
Or
how you
like
come up with
the sweater that everybody's knitting on right now, polka. I really wanted to do a jacket style sweater that had pockets.
I know, because a lot of people don't put pockets on their
Yeah.
stuff. Oh my god.
Or you have to like sew them on afterwards,
Yeah.
and I'm really bad at that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Let's, like,
So I
duplicate
really wanted
stitch.
to do this like integrated pocket sweater because I knew that I wanted
Nice.
pockets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So oftentimes it's just a desire that.
So you actually base your designs and stuff on stuff you want.
Yeah.
That's
It's like my
incredible. That's
friend kept talking about she really wants like a tunic dress,
Right.
kind of like a baby doll tunic dress. And
Yeah.
I figured out a way to take the Novus construction and like turn it into a tunic.
No way. That's awesome.
So we'll see if that happens.
Oh
It's
my
actually
God.
half on the needles. I just
That's
like, I'm
fabulous.
not sure if I have enough yarn. I might just kind of start knitting the tunic till I run out of yarn.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well,
Right.
for you, you can wear a nice little mini dress and you'll be fine. And people always can lengthen if they need it lengthened, right?
Yeah, you can just add more yarn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I didn't think that, I figured you had planned stuff, you know, that you always had something planned. And I didn't realize it was based on what you wanted in
Yeah.
kind of your wardrobe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but I think that's like why my things end up looking like they belong on me. And
that's true.
right.
That's true. Because when you wear them and I see you wearing them and then I see people, you're doing photographs with other people in them, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, that is a Laura sweater. Like, you know it. Like,
Yeah.
or, you know, that's a Laura
a
shawl.
goal.
Like,
Oh,
you
thank
know
you.
it is.
Yeah.
And then you see it on someone else and I'm like, that's not, you know, that's not how Laura would wear it. But it's funny because I guess, you know, there's so
many
there's
different
things you
ways.
wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
we wear
everybody
them.
likes to do something what's for them, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's what a good thing about your patterns are, especially when it comes to your garments. You can alter them for everybody.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
I
like this
give
sweater
a
you're
lot of
wearing,
notes,
you
yeah.
cropped. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, that's amazing. Like, I don't even know if
made
I
it shorter.
Yeah, but I don't even know if I saw anybody that do that. Like,
Yeah, I don't
that-
think anybody had
No,
that.
they all
Yeah.
did them like longer length up to
I
hip
know.
bones, and they play
Yeah.
with it but no one cropped it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that was a genius idea.
I just had less knitting to do.
Yeah. Gives you something else
So
to work
funny.
on, time
I
for
know.
something else.
Totally. Totally.
Oh, that's so much fun. But yes, thank you so much for doing
Thank
this with
you.
me today. I had so much fun doing this with
Yeah,
you. I could keep
me
talking
as well.
for you for hours, you know that.
Well, we were already talking before this
I know,
too. So.
I know. And we'll probably keep talking
We're all
after a
good.
bit, so.
all the vendors are like broken down
Yeah.
and done behind us.
Oh, this
We're
picture's
still-
not showing up.
Oh, that's so bad.
We had this behind us. I don't know if you ladies can, or ladies, everybody can see
girl.
this. Hey, girl. I think that you should buy me new yarn.
It's like, hey,
That was-
girl.
that was supposed to be up behind us here, but it didn't
Sorry.
work very
Oh,
well.
well.
That's okay. But yeah, so everybody's closing down at the Kitchener-Waterloo Fair, and we're closing down with them.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much for watching us today. I hope you enjoyed Laura as much as I enjoy her company. And you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I really
so
appreciate it.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you guys. We'll see you soon, and happy knitting until the next episode. Bye.